Well, hello friends of the Northern Entertainment and welcome to another episode of Construction Simulator. As you can see, we are already hard at work here. That didn't work at all the way. No. That didn't work at all the way I wanted this to work. It's a good thing that I didn't follow my initial thought and sold all the soil, because that would have been rather detrimental to our progression now. Oh look, 1%. That is not a lot either. But if we play our cards right, then we might have by the end of this a decent flat spot to get the crane out again. Oh, please don't tip. Alright, let's do it. Oh goody. I'm starting to think this might not be the right tool for the job here. The good old case might just not be cut out to handle this. But we do have a nice big loader over here, which we will use. So I decided that I am going to save my money to buy the LTM. Did I just run into a hydrant? Oh, sure enough. Yeah, so the plan is to buy the big LTM, because I feel like that will be very helpful in the long run, because I don't know if you guys know that or not, or if you ever seen that, but the total reach of this of the big LTM is insanity. Insane in the membrane. Well, okay. Didn't want to make that, but that's okay. Imagine in real life what would happen. I'm almost wondering if I should get a rock truck. Fill the rock truck up. Oh my goodness, this thing. So 3% with one scoop. Well, it's gonna be a moment. But yeah, so that's the plan anyway. We are going to buy a LTM. The same kind that's sitting back there. So we're gonna fill this up all the way. Without falling down, if at all possible. Well, it was 10%. So my plan is to, like I said, to fill this up as much as we can. Ideally without caving in. And then we're gonna then we're just gonna flatten what needs to be flattened. It's cool that the tires do even out. Oh, that was close. Even out the ground as well, so it can actually pack the ground down, which is nice. There we go. You know, it's always a good sign when you have a game and 18 of your friends on Steam, and I do not have that many friends on Steam. But it's always a good sign when 18 other people that you know on Steam have the game as well. That's usually a pretty good sign that the game is fairly popular. And well liked, and I really do like Construction Simulator, there's no doubt about that. Now it stands to argue it's more fun playing than watching, but I don't know if that's the case. Some games are more fun playing them yourself, I think. Although there's games that I like watching on YouTube that I would never touch as a game myself. Or that I'm just not good at. Like if somebody is really good at first-person shooters. The problem is that most of the communities are so darn toxic that yeah, you really don't want to bother. Oh, look at that! I can actually... Did you see that? I can actually backblade, sorta, kinda backblade with the... Oh, that is cool. I mean, it's not very realistic because with that particular bucket, you would not be able to do that. But all things considered, oh, you know what I always wondered is if there's a screenshot mode. I never found that out. Let's see here if I can go to the settings. Video, screen space, blah blah blah. Camera. First person head bobbing. No, that doesn't help. Controls. Construction view, function modifier, mode of free camera, camera mode. Function mode, driving, hook, paw finger crane, dumper, wheel loader, excavator, blah 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 blah. Rotary drill. My goodness, you need a lot of stuff for that rotary drill. Oofa. Hello. That was a nice scoop there, buddy. Oh. Man down. Almost. Oh, speaking of man down, that brings me to man overboard. Would anybody be interested if I start recording Stormworks again? I know the streams are doing quite well. The videos, of course, weren't so good. Oh, also, I should also tell you guys that I am now on YouTube as well as on Rumble. Because, and I told you guys that before, the YouTube censor train is going full steam and it's only a matter of time before it stops at your station if you don't follow the narrative. And to be honest with you, I don't buy the narrative anymore. And more people wake up, so that's good. But with me being not a follower of the narrative anymore, I am completely expecting that the censorship train's gonna stop at my doorstep eventually too, and if that ever happens, then just know that you will still find me on Rumble under the Northern Alex. They're even gonna verify me. So only the Northern Alex with a check mark will be the one that you want to follow. You don't have to worry, I'm not gonna become super political and post a lot of political stuff on there, but I might actually, every now and again, will post something where I feel like it's worth mentioning or pointing something out, and most of the time it's just gonna be a link or a reference to more material for the topic at hand, to have an informed discussion. Because that's what I think is so important these days, is to have a discussion. And people can't do that anymore for whatever reason. Oh look, there's our first part of this 31%. You know what? It's easier to flatten an area nicely with the loader than it is with the dozer. I guess it makes sense in a way though. But like I said, with this bucket, flattening anything is, I don't know. With the teeth on it. That poor loader sure gets some abuse though. Look at the fuel and look at the maintenance. Actually, it was something that I was looking into after my full-time YouTube dream sorta kinda shattered. I was looking if any of the mills here in our area. I was looking for a loader operator. That was not the case, so I ended up on the truck again, which I think in the end was a good decision. 40%, look at that. We're almost done. No, we're not. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys remember that, but I started this job in the longest setting, like with the most steps, so this is gonna be quite a job and a half. So, once we get that, I wonder what we're gonna do next. I can't even remember what the job was, to be honest with you, when we started, and I'm just following at the moment. I'm just following the instructions. Imagine that! Alex is following instructions. Mark this on the calendar. Oh, I have a question for you guys. Absolutely, totally, 100% not game related. But kinda topical because it's almost that time of the year again. So we have kinda sorta a tradition here in the household. That we start playing Christmas music on November 1st. I'm just curious if we are the only ones or if there's more of you out there, and if there is, raise your hand in the comments. Well, figuratively speaking. Look at that. We are indeed flattening the ground. Now I'm really biting myself in a way though that yeah, that we sold all the soil. I mean, it's good in a way because we had the money to buy more machines, but I'm wondering. I'm seriously wondering. Let's do that a little bit in first person, shall we? The sounds are so good. There we go. Fill it in. Alright. So we tried yesterday, we tried the EMS update on flashing lights in multiplayer. And I do have to say, while there are certainly some improvements made, but overall, man, it's still got a lot to go until it's actually EMS and multiplayer. For example, it would be so nice if people could drive each other's like, especially for an ambulance, you don't always have the same guy driving. So that was a little bit disappointing. But other than that, it was actually a really fun session yesterday because we had a multiplayer session and ended up running BTT ran police, Vash and we ran fire. It was actually really fun. Like I said yesterday in my video though, I'm really curious and I have to look into that. If anybody ever made Albertan paint jobs for the ambulance and maybe an RCMP paint job for the police cars. I mean fire, yeah, well, whatever. A fire truck is a fire truck. There is really not that much that you can change there, or not that much difference that you would notice for the most part. I mean, unless of course you have, like, let's say you have the New York City Fire Department. They have very distinct, paint jobs, and so does Chicago for that matter. Oh, Quebec at one point, Montreal had black fire trucks as a protest from the firefighters to the local government. That was interesting. I obviously never seen it in real life because I'm far from Quebec, but yeah, would have loved to seen it. There is a series on YouTube that is quite amazing, where they show the emergency services in Toronto from the 80s, late 80s, early 90s. That is, you know, it doesn't seem that long ago. Well, although thinking about it realistically, it is quite a bit. But it looks just like such a different time. Like the hairdos, the clothes, the cars, everything. It's amazing how we as how we evolved. Well, for the most part anyway. Some didn't evolve, some kind of are regressing. There, look at that. I'm a little bit concerned about the condition of our vehicle though. But on that same token, we might not want to go ahead and okay, let's flatten this out. Like so. Come on now. Way better. But yeah, normally I would just move the vehicle back to the garage and let them, or to the machine hall and let them deal with it. However, to advance the company, we need 25 repairs and 25 fill-ups, so we might do that instead. Don't know yet for sure though. We'll see. It's so well done. Like, this iteration of the Construction Simulator truly deserves all the accolades that it got and more. Like, you guys know it. I played all the previous iterations except for the mobile games. Because, well, you know me, I'm PC snob. But yeah, this is a worthy successor to Construction Simulator 2015. King Charles. Speaking of King Charles, it's so weird that we don't have a queen anymore. And you know what? Queen Elizabeth was a very funny person. Like, she she was just so good-natured too, from what you've seen. Anyway, obviously I don't know her personally, and I know there's a lot of people that are like very mad at her for some of the things that she did in terms of her royal family and how she treated them. But you have to think about, the woman was a queen. She had to keep the royal family in order. And if you are in charge, then you can't always make friends. That's unfortunately, it's an unfortunate fact of life. I mean, I know it all too well because, well, A, in the army, and B, of course, in my professional life in the past. I very much learned the lesson that, well, if you are in the lead, then you don't make always friends. It's just the way it goes. I'm just a little bit concerned these days, to be honest with you, of our future manager generation, because they will have to deal with man-children. Spoiled, entitled man-children. Because men don't learn anymore what it means to be a man. And I can see that already sometimes in our store, like when I see the people that we're hiring lately, and how the entitlement is absolutely mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. You know, it's really, they figure that, I don't know, you owe them something because they work for you. It's not anymore, oh, thank you for the job, I make some money. No, it's the other way around. Oh, thank you for, I mean, yeah, of course, be grateful to your workers, be nice to your workers. All these things are 100% completely true. But, you know, just be decent to each other, but don't be entitled. Like, don't come in there with pretty much, oh, if I don't get this and this and this and this and this, I'm not working. Well, then don't work. But on that same token, I do have to say we have one kid that works in the store, and he surprises me every time, because what a work ethic, my goodness. So amazing. So amazing. So alike. So alike. Oh, that's a reference to a TV show. To an old TV series. And if you can figure out where that reference was from, well, leave it in the comments below. Alright, look at that. We are done here. Well, before we end the video, we're gonna do that quickly. We're gonna use the big crate. What are you doing? Yeah, in the crane you go. Yeah, I think that using this crane is even better than using a than using the tower crane, just because it has such an insane reach. Can you go closer? Oh, like, huh? What's going on here? Well, what's going on is 2 pallets of wood, and I'm raising the boom here. I'm not extending or shortening the boom. I'm raising the boom. I wonder if we could do that first person. Maybe. Maybe not. Not without a spotter. Linear movement. It's like the most important part. Ooh, as I'm saying that, I'm just getting all herky-jerky. But yeah, linear movements with your crane, that's kind of like rather important. Look how far I can reach. Isn't that something? There we go. Honestly, I parked too close. I parked way too close to the machines here. Oh look, it's already getting dark again. Thankfully we do have some pretty good work lights on the crane. Okay. I think with darkness setting in here again, we're gonna be getting this pallet into place, and then we're gonna call it a night or a day or a morning or whatever you want to call it. We're gonna call it a good day's work. So much for my whole theory of being smooth in movement. Dang, that was a nice drop. Alright friends, well I do hope you enjoyed the episode. Until next time, Northern Alex signing off. Thanks for watching and God bless.